Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday. How y'all feeling? It's Wednesday. Sorry, what day is it?
Wednesday.
Bro, it's hump day. Wednesday, you know? How y'all feeling? Y'all good?
Blessed, black, and highly favored.
Good. Love to hear it. All right. So last night, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, he broke the record for the longest Senate speech ever, clocking in 25 hours and 4 minutes. Now, the New Jersey Democrat started his marathon speech at 7 o'clock Eastern time on Monday night in protest of Trump's administration, his policies. And admittedly, myself, I did not understand the gravity of what a marathon speech was, but I can assure you I do now. And I bet many of you guys do too after seeing the media coverage, right? So Booker, he is protesting President Trump's tariffs, his efforts and initiatives to dismantle the Department of Education and other policies, saying the nation is currently in crisis. Senator Booker was allowed to take extended pauses for questions from fellow Democrats. And he also broke that record, of course, the record of the longest Senate speech ever. I'll get into who had the record before that. But first, let's take a listen to Senator Cory Booker's, the audio of him breaking that record.
Would the senator yield for a question?
Chuck Schumer, it's the only time in my life I can tell you no.
I just want to tell you a question. Do you know you have just broken the record? Do you know how proud this caucus is of you? Do you know how proud America is of you?
So the point of the speech, you said it was 25 hours?
25
25
hours.
25 hours and 4 minutes. So reportedly, Senator Booker, he is currently recovering right now. And he says there's a good reason that he had to stand up to the Trump administration and that he knew he couldn't sit by and do nothing. He also spoke about how his smartwatch showed some concerning statistics while he was speaking. Let's take a listen to that audio.
They're going to try to push through a bill that's going to gut $880 billion from Medicaid. They're going to try to put forward to a bill that's going to give tax cuts to the wealthiest in our country, disproportionately trillions of dollars. It's outrageous. And we have got to try to stop them. This is really about folks leading from their hearts and deciding I'm not going to just let business as usual go on in my life. It gave me nothing on a sleep score because I didn't. My heart rate was pretty damn high after about 4 or 5 hours, a little bit high. That's concerning. So there are definitely some physical things. I'm feeling it now.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. You know, Cory showed some fight. He's doing something. You know, he's at least acting like the times we are in aren't normal. And, you know, I still don't know what this accomplished, but if it energizes, you know, other people to do something, I'm all for it.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Like I said, I'm supportive of anybody that's boycotting or whatever or taking a stand. But what does it accomplish after 25 hours? Was it awareness? Was it to get more people talking about it?
All of that.
With this news cycle tomorrow, it won't even exist. You know, people won't even be talking about it anymore. So I'm just asking, like, so what should we do from here?
I think it just energized other people to do something. You know, Cory chose to do something, and you know, like you said, he took a stand. Yeah, for 25 hours.
Yeah.
To be exact.
So it's no bathroom, it's no lunch, like it's no nothing. He has to do this for 25 hours straight.
Yeah, so in fact, when it comes to the bathroom, he said he fasted the day leading up to his speech, and he also, stopped eating. I think it was like 2 days before, and then he said the day before on Sunday, he stopped drinking to avoid things like going to the bathroom.
Now, Cory, if you wore a diaper, just go ahead and tell us. I don't believe that now. He's 55. I'm 46. My bowels don't wait for nobody. My urine don't wait for nobody. There's no way he 25 hours, he ain't pee or nothing. Can't even take a bathroom break? He had to take a potty break now.
He might have had a
They gotta let him take a potty break.
He might have had a diaper,
Come on.
a male diaper or something like that. Yeah, because 25 hours,
no
urine.
I'm
no
still over here like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I need more details. Are you sure there was no potty breaks, Morgan?
He was able to take questions. That's all I've been able to see in terms of breaks. But I do think it is fascinating that he broke the speech, the record for the speech, which is the longest Senate floor speech was 24 hours and 18 minutes back in 1957. That was Democratic Senator Storm Thurmond of South Carolina, Charlamagne, who tried to stop the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1957. So look how far we've come in 67 years, right?
Yeah, because ain't nobody else going to do that. 25 hours.
But to your point,
Yeah, they say
Charlamagne,
he wasn't allowed to use the bathroom.
Yeah, no, you can't take a break or a recess and those things.
He
But
had a
yeah, to
diaper
your
on.
point, a catheter. No, I don't know. But to your point, Charlamagne, I do think it raised some awareness. I would have liked to see somebody step in, next and continue with another 24 or, but for it to end, it's kind of like, what now? But
yeah.
And that was my question. He did send out this mass text yesterday. Cory Booker did.
Man, shut up.
I swear to God.
I know, but that's
but it's what he wanted from this.
Money.
Okay.
Yeah, for a donation.
All right, that's it.
That's
I'm
what it said. That's what it.
I'm not saying no more. Forget you. Thank you,
But
Morgan.
that's what it was.
So it was kind of
I'll
like.
be back with election results at 7, okay?
Hold on. So what you got the like mine says Leonard is Cory Booker. I just walked off the Senate floor. I may be tired and a little hoarse, but as I said again and again, that's the one you got?
Yeah, that's the same one.
Yes.
You got.
Oh, so it's like church.
It's a donation. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that history will show we rose to meet this moment. It will show we did not let the chaos and division go unanswered. It will show that when Donald Trump chose to spread lies and so fair, we chose to come together, to work together, and to rise together. If you support our movement of justice, yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada.
Now that's a reason to lock some doors.
That's what he said.
Close them doors. I was up
Hey,
here talking
Jess.
for 25 hours. Close them doors. I need 40,000 right now.
That's how it ended. That's how the note ended.
Damn.
Don't make me lock the door.
Salute to Cory Booker. All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Yeah, so let's get back into it. Voters in Wisconsin and Florida headed to the polls yesterday in what many are calling a national political power struggle, not to mention it's like getting a temp check on the American people, especially those who voted for Trump. In Florida, voters decided on 2 pivotal vacant House seats. Republican Jimmy Patronis is projected to be the winner in Florida's first congressional district. He defeated Democrat Gay Vallamont in a special House election for the seat that was vacated by former Representative Matt Gaetz. And that win gives the Republicans a razor-thin margin in the U.S. House of Representatives. Also in Florida, a Republican Randy Fine is projected to be the winner in the 6th congressional district. He defeated Democrat Josh Whale in the special House election for the seat that was vacated by former Representative Michael Waltz. Again, that gives the Republicans just a slight edge in the House of Representatives. So in Wisconsin, a state Supreme Court election was held, and liberal Susan Crawford is projected to be the winner of the open seat of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Crawford defeated Republican Wisconsin Attorney General Brad Schimel, excuse me, and it was actually on record to be the most expensive state Supreme Court race in U.S. history, with both sides spending an estimated $100 million in their campaigns. Sheesh. So that's an interesting way of looking at things that seems like the seat switched in Wisconsin. That's a win for Dems. And of course, in Florida, the GOP seems to maintain their edge. Moving on to the House, Republican leader in the House is downplaying President Trump's thoughts on serving a third term. Now, Trump has said there are methods for making it happen, but there is a long way to go as it is early in his administration. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson said the Constitution would have to be amended, and that's a high bar, adding that a lot would have to happen for Trump to run again. But he could see why people would want him to run again. So let's take a listen to House Speaker Mike Johnson.
He recognizes the constitutional limitations, and I'm not sure that there's a move about to amend the Constitution. There's a constitutional path. You have to amend the Constitution to do it, and that's a high bar. We take him at his word. I understand why so many Americans do wish that he could run for a third term, because he's accomplishing so much in this first 100 days that they wish it could go on for much longer.
We shouldn't even be entertaining this. Like, we're talking about authoritarian rule as if it's normal. Like, we're talking about something as unconstitutional as running for a third term as if it's normal. And that's literally how those things get normalized.
And it is unconstitutional, as you mentioned, Charlamagne. Serving 3 terms as president is prohibited by the Constitution under the 22nd Amendment. And I know people have been, talking about different ways that it can happen. Of course, the president has said there are ways of making it happen. But, I also found out that if he does run as, let's say, VP and whoever he runs with is elected president and that president steps down, well, the 12th Amendment then states that he would be ineligible to serve again. So
yeah, I read that yesterday. He'd be ineligible to serve. He'd be ineligible to serve again because of what's amended in the 22nd Amendment, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, between the 22nd and the 12th,
yeah,
there's no third term, period. So yeah, just but something to watch. So when Trump says, there are ways of making it happen, I'm curious to know what those ways are when the Constitution seemingly is ironclad in this. So.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. I know it has happened before where a president, did a third. So how did that president do it before?
Because they amended it after.
They amended it after. Okay.
Yeah, this was prior to that amendment. Absolutely. Elsewhere in the House, I think it's interesting that House Speaker Mike Johnson suffered an interesting loss involving his own party yesterday. This after 9 Republicans joined all Democrats in going against a procedural rule that would have killed off an effort to allow new parents to vote remotely around the birth of their child. Now, the vote also blocked votes on Republican priorities to limit power of federal judges. Johnson said the vote means that the House can no longer further seek action on the floor this week. Florida Republican Representative Anna Paulina Luna, she left the conservative House Freedom Caucus when her colleagues would not back the bipartisan measure. So it does look like there is a bit of a shift in Congress. There, people are starting to, stand on what it is they believe a little bit. So, but bringing things home to you guys in New York. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is among those reacting to the DOJ's decision to seek the death penalty for the accused CEO killer, United Healthcare CEO killer, Luigi Mangione. Adams seems to be on board with the death penalty. Let's take a listen to New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
You intentionally went in and you took someone's life. It was a horrific act, and whatever process they put in place, I respect that process.
So Attorney General Pam Bondi is ordering federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty. The 26-year-old Ivy League grad allegedly shot and killed Brian Thompson on a Manhattan sidewalk in December. And Bondi called the killing premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. Meanwhile, Mangione's attorney says the move shows that the Justice Department is moving from the dysfunctional to the barbaric. What do you guys think? Death penalty for Luigi Mangione? That was a scary time in New York when all of that went down.
I mean, destiny is not a matter of chance; it's a matter of choice. Luigi made a choice, and I don't know how I feel about the death penalty. I really don't.
I will say, if the death penalty is in play, this would be the perfect person for it, right? He actually killed somebody. He was a vigilante. Did it on his own. He did it damn near broad daylight in public. Like this would be, he would be the perfect candidate for it, right?
Yeah, I just never know how I feel about the death penalty because I don't know if that's a choice that other humans should be able to make.
That eye for eye type
about somebody's life.
Yeah, throw them under the jail forever. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I never know how I feel about the death penalty. Whenever I hear about somebody getting the death penalty, I never know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But to Angie's point, this is such a blatant case, right? Like this isn't we're not going to look back 20 years from now and be like, oh, you got the wrong guy,
right? Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we probably running out of time, but I wanted to mention that the Target boycott is seemingly working, guys. So after Target decided to roll back their policies on DEI, Retail Brew reports foot traffic in the store has dropped 5.7% year over year from March 17th. Last week, it dropped 7.1%, and it's been dropping 6.2% for the last 8 weeks. With Easter around the corner, you would think the retailer would see a bit of an increase, but no, sales continue to drop. They also reported a 3.1% loss in the fourth quarter of last year. Retailers like Costco, who have kept their DEI policies, have saw an increase of 5.2% in foot traffic and sales year over year. Costco also reported 13 consecutive weeks of increases. So it looks like go ahead and continue to keep your foot on their necks. In terms of the boycott, it is working and the retailers are feeling it. So.
Well, Target praying for a resurrection around Easter. Okay, they hoping to rise from whatever current condition that they're in.
Hey, I don't know, between the tariffs and Target, it's giving hunker down. But that's your front page news. Follow me on social at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Make it a great Wednesday, y'all.
Thank you so much, Morgan.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.